Hey guys, welcome to class. Today is Friday, September 18th. I am starting here in our peer review folder where I just wanted to take a moment to praise you guys. You are rocking this peer review. I am especially thankful for those of you who got your work in on time on Tuesday night so that we could start out on Wednesday ready to roll. Those of you who have been in the space, you've really been engaging with each other. I really appreciate it. I also have been in the space, and so has Miss Black, and I hope that that feedback has been helpful for you. There are other ways, though. If you still need some feedback, we have a couple of days to still continue working on this paper. You can email me with a time that will work for you today. I won't be able to meet with you this weekend, but also Monday, if there's a time after Monday sessions that you would like to meet, we could do that as well, because you'll have until the end of the day on Monday to submit the paper. And I'll go over how to do that in just a second. So one other reminder, I'm just gonna show you the calendar real quick. I'm recalculating the writing process grades right now, so I'm checking homeworks and things like that. I've noticed a few people have fallen off a little bit when it comes to daily writes. Don't forget, we have daily writes every class day. So even on Wednesdays and Fridays, after you watch your class video and participate in whatever activities happening, I still ask you to go in and do your daily write for that day. So today's Friday. Fridays are kind of fun. They're meme the day days, and I've really been enjoying reading those, by the way. So make sure you're going in and doing those so that you can get that credit. I understand if you've missed one, you don't have to go in and make up every single one. You just want to be in the space the majority of the days that those daily writes are assigned. And also push into those daily writes a little more, maybe be more specific and thoughtful. If you notice that you've just been kind of, oh, I've got to rush through this because I have to do it, and writing like one sentence. Thanks to those of you who are really using this space to dig deeply into your experience this semester. I've been responding to them. I respond about once every 2 weeks, and I try not to respond if I feel like that what you're writing is too personal. But anyway, I really enjoy that space, and I appreciate the work that a lot of you have put into it. Let me go over real quickly some of the scoring considerations for this paper. You can find those in our peer review folder where it says the peer review feedback form. This is the form that a number of you were using to give feedback on your peers' work. So there are a couple things here that I just want to go over. Purpose and audience. You want to make sure this is an academic paper for an academic audience, and some of the writing we do this semester will not be. Some of it will be for a more informal audience, but for this paper we are writing for a formal audience. So there's some things to keep in mind when you're doing that, like making sure that you address the authors of your sources by their last names. I've noticed some people calling our author Dr. Mona. We can talk about Dr. Mona when we're just sort of having discussion in class because it's an informal space. But if you're writing about her in a formal paper, she needs to be Hannah Atisha or Dr. Hannah Atisha. So just keep that in mind, being formal in how you address your author's names. Also, as far as the purpose of the paper, you need a strong claim that synthesizes two sources, right? So making sure that your claim does that you're really centering these two sources around some connection that you find really interesting. And then as far as evidence, you need to make sure that that evidence supports that claim the best you can. So, you know, if you're writing a paper and your claim is about environmental racism, you want to make sure that that evidence you're providing ties back to the environment, right? If you're writing about sort of issues within these communities that are classist or racist, those are interesting, but that may not tie into the environment. And if your paper claims to be about environmental racism, you need to make sure your evidence aligns with that. So making sure, you know, that as you're writing your paper, there are little things you can do. Like out beside each paragraph of your paper, you can write, okay, this is what we call this reverse outlining. This is what I'm writing about in this paragraph. Okay, does that align with my claim? This is what I'm writing about in this paragraph. Does that align? So those things are really important to consider, especially in this stage. In this stage, you guys have pretty much a second draft. You've been making revisions. Now you're ready to polish this thing up. So you want to make sure that everything is aligning with some of the expectations, which you'll see here. If you need help with any of the organization stuff, don't forget that on your assignment sheet for the class, or for the Unit 1 assignment, let me find that assignment sheet. I thought I had it pulled up. Sorry. There we go. The very last page of this assignment sheet has a helpful, has some helpful notes on how to draft the project, how you might organize it, different kinds of organizational schemes, and also a few things about paragraphing, because some people have had questions about that. So you might want to look through part 5 of that Unit 1 assignment sheet for some help with organization. Research and evidence. I'm sorry, my dog's in here. As far as research and evidence, you want to make sure again that research aligns with your claim. You also want to make sure that you're using MLA formatting, especially in how you are embedding your research. So you want to make sure that you have, you signal phrase into any direct quotes, that you have parenthetical citations that align with your source material and your works cited page. Most of you have so far in your rough drafts, but just keep that in mind. And remember, in Al Excelsior, there are a ton of resources for this if you need those. We went over some of them on Wednesday. I actually played a video of formatting the works cited page. So remember that those resources are there. And lastly, as far as conventions and mechanics, some things you just want to do because, it's pretty easy to make sure that the MLA specifications are there. So things like, is there a heading? Is there a title? Is the whole paper in Times New Roman 12-point font? Is the whole paper double spaced? These are things like you should do just right off the bat, and you'll know that they're done, and it aligns with the expectation of the style guide, which in our case is MLA. So you want to make sure that you are aligning with that style guide. And then the best advice I can give you for editing in your final stages is to sit and read your paper aloud. You would be surprised, maybe even call a parent and say, hey, my teacher said, if I read this paper aloud, I'll catch my errors. You would be surprised how many grammar errors you will catch if you're reading it aloud, because it's, when you read aloud, you see things that you wouldn't see if you're just reading silently in your head. You'll skip over things. So, like I said, if you want access to this, you can find it in our peer review folder under the peer review feedback form, those scoring considerations. That's what I'll be using to score the paper when you turn it in on Monday. Let me show you how to submit the paper. Now I'm going to go over this on Monday as well during Monday session, but if you don't make it to Monday session and you want to know, or if you want to turn it in over the weekend, it's up to you. The assignment submission is up. What you'll do is when you go into Blackboard, go down here to Unit 1, you'll see the submission form at the very top. You'll just click into this, browse your computer, and upload your file. Please, please, please make sure you upload the correct file. It needs to be in a PDF or Word document in order to go through Safe Assign. And if it's a Pages document, if you're a MacBook user, it cannot read a Pages document, so I won't be able to read it. If you just post a URL to a Google Doc, it can't read it. I can't read it. So again, to submit this paper, you need to download your file. If you're using Google Docs or whatever, you need to have a file that's a PDF or Word document, and you need to upload that file to this submission tab. You'll do that by going into it and then browse your computer and upload your file, okay? Please do not just write your submission in this box. If you write a submission in this box, it tears up your all of your formatting, which remember, this is an academic paper, so formatting is important. So you'll browse and upload a document, and it needs to be a PDF or Word document, remember. All right, unit reflections. So for today, instead of doing a daily write, we're actually doing a unit reflection, which is where you reflect on the unit as a whole. So what you're going to do is you're going to read back over every daily write that you have written so far. And we've had about 10 or 11 so far. You're going to read back over them, and I want you to actually add tags to these posts. And I'm going to show you how to do that in just a minute. You can think of these tags as hashtags. So like when you post on social media, if you hashtag, it's a very similar concept. You're basically reading the post and you're assigning it like a word, something, a theme or something that's coming out of that post, okay? Then you're going to write your reflection for today about the last 4 weeks, okay? What concepts do you see coming out of your posts as you've been doing your daily writes? What are you learning about yourself? What are you learning about your academic, social, emotional self? How do you feel like you're growing in these last 4 weeks and in this unit? How have you failed and really struggled? And we all have, including me. How have you overcome those struggles, right? And what are you going to take with you from this unit? About writing, maybe something you've learned about writing, or life, okay? So I want you guys to do this today and try to submit your Unit 1 reflection before the end of the day today. And let me show you how to hashtag real quick. So when you go into Ed Blogs, I should have pulled this up, sorry. All right. Okay, so if I go to a new post, or sorry, I need to review all of my posts and add tags. That's what I'm asking you to do, is go back and review these posts. The way that you can do that is you can do it through your dashboard. If you go to Posts, All Posts, and you'll be able to see everything that you've posted since you started this semester, okay? Now, what you can do is go to each one, and so if I go to my post from Wednesday, okay, I'll read whatever I wrote. Of course, y'all see the class blog stuff. And over here, under categories is tags. And so maybe I've noticed from what I wrote that I'm really struggling with procrastination. Well, I might tag it hashtag procrastination. There we go, okay? And I'll add that tag. All right, make sure that when you've read through that you then update it. If you don't update it, then it won't save your tag. And I'll show you on Monday, we're gonna add tag clouds to our blog space so that you can see what that's gonna look like, and I'll talk to you about why we're doing it and where we're going from there. So go back, review all of your posts. Again, to get there, you go to all posts in your dashboard, you edit get into your post to edit, read what you've written, and then tag it, okay? And then write your unit reflection. Okay, so that's what y'all need to do for today. And make sure to, if you need me or Ms. Black, you reach out to us today. We probably will not be answering emails over the weekend. So if you need help, let's do it today, or at least set up a time for Monday afternoon so that we can work with you on your paper. And don't forget about the Writing Center too. All right, guys, you've made it to the end of Unit 1. Good luck getting this paper cleaned up and ready to submit. Let me know if you need anything, and y'all have a great weekend.